Well, hello, good morning. Welcome, everyone. I don't know if there's anyone there to welcome, but once again, hello to anyone who catches this later. Back to another informal morning. Asa had a rougher night. He's over here. He just woke up, and he's still in his clothes. They could be pajamas. He just wore his clothes to bed, but that's life when you don't feel good. So and you could be praying for him that his breathing would be getting better. He had an episode like this last year, seemed, but I thought we would start out. I thought I'd do Praise the Lord in the Holy Place first to start things before doing the reading. And I think I have that ready. Which psalm is that taken from? Psalm 150, I think? Well, we're going to go to it here. You can join along if you know. Oh, we got a new camo bathrobe. Excuse you. So we'll jump over here. Praise the Lord in the holy place. Praise Him in the firmament. Praise the Lord for His mighty acts. Praise Him for His excellence. Hail His might with the trumpet. Tell of praise with the harp. Wake the world with the cymbal. Sing His praise from your heart. Praise the Lord in the holy place. Praise Him in the firmament. Praise the Lord for His mighty acts. Praise Him for His excellence. Hail, shout for joy with the timpani. Tell of love with the strings. Sound His word on the organ. Hear the song as it rings. Alleluia, amen. Let the people praise our God. Alleluia, amen. Let the people praise our God. Amen. Oh dear son. That's the sound of a cougher, poor feller. And I also played tried to play a solo guitar of We Gather Together, which I know we're not necessarily gathering like usual to do the singing, but hey, it was on my mind. I wonder if I can find it. Find it easy enough, buddy. Somebody's having a muffin over there. Oh, hello, Larry and Grace, and welcome. Well, it says Larry from Chicago and Grace Peterson. Where do we have here? That's who's showing in the live chat as chatting. Let's find this here. Okay, I'm going to bring up We Gather Together as well. Just because we are kind of gathering together, whether right now live or later. And then I'll proceed to the story. We'll get right to it. chastens and hastens his will to make known. The wicked oppressing now cease from distressing. Sing praises to his name, he forgets not his own. Beside us to guide us, our God with us joining, ordaining, maintaining his kingdom divine. Though so from the beginning, the fight we were winning, thou, Lord, were at our side, all glory be thine. We all do extol thee, thou leader triumphant, and pray that thou still our defender wilt be. Let thy congregation escape tribulation, thy name be ever praised, O Lord, make us free. Lord, make us free. Yes, that's a good one. I like that one. Okay. Well, let's set the little old guitar down for now. The video looks really good today. Or, I mean, it looks good the last couple mornings when things were working right from the phone. Oh, yeah? I'm a little more prepared this morning. I actually have some tea. Okay, so this morning's reading, short story, is called 911 Christmas. Let's see here what we've got. 911 Christmas. You might have noticed the thumbnail for this, but that's what it looks like. Has a sense of urgency. Ooh. Okay. Ready? You just relax. Okay. Written again by Rebekah A. Morse, my wife's best friend of many years, who we have not gotten to see along with friends and family for over 2 years now. Praying things change with the border situation. It still amazes me that I can go to our city, 50,000+ people, and shop all I want all day. And go to the bigger city, Winnipeg. I could shop all day there, come home, and I wouldn't have to be quarantined or anything, you know. But somehow, suddenly going across that border, oh no, you have to have the vaccine. Let's not get too into that, but it just astounds me what the difference is. Except that there's something greater going on, or bigger. But let's continue to 911 Christmas. We'll just be down the street at the Carters if you should. You gotta get your tools. That was my comment to Aiden. If you should need us for anything, girls. Mrs. Stevens paused on the front stoop. Multicolored Christmas lights shone from the house roof. My wife says shone, and maybe most Americans do, but I say shone. After all, I don't say I've been gone all day. Just kidding. Multicolored Christmas lights, yeah, from the house roof and from the bushes and houses along the street. Even some of the evergreens growing in the Kirkpatrick's yard next door were ablaze with color. Beside her, Mrs. Wilson nodded. You know the rules, girls. You can call your friends, but you can't invite anyone over. We know, 3 voices answered at once and then burst into laughter. Go have fun, Mom, Mrs. Stevens. Oh, go have fun, Mom, Mrs. Stevens, Angie said, waving her hand toward the fathers who were waiting on the sidewalk. Dad's waiting. We'll be fine. We'll lock the doors, eat supper, watch It's a Wonderful Life, and talk. Yes, go, Mom, Janice Stevens added. A call from the sidewalk made the ladies turn away from the door and hurry to join their husbands. Angie quickly shut the door and locked it. There, now maybe they'll go enjoy themselves, Stephanie giggled. She was Jenna's younger sister and had just turned 13. You would think that they'd be happy to get out of the house for a while to enjoy an adult party. Oh, they will, Jenna assured, refastening a clip that held her brown perm out of her face. Once they decide that we really will be okay without them. Come on, let's eat, Angie urged. She led the way to the kitchen, her straight blonde hair hanging down her back, almost to her waist. She wore a headband and a red sweater, which matched the red bows on the garland over the fireplace. No fire glowed in the grate, for both mothers had been afraid something might happen, and the house would burn down. Soon the three girls were sitting around the table eating and talking. Angie and Jenna had been friends since second grade and often hung out together after school and on Saturdays. Though neither of them would have minded, Mrs. Stevens usually considered Stephanie to be too young to join them in many of their activities. But now that she was 13, she had become a part of their group more often. Hi, buddy. He's writing. What? Was it the same one, do you think, or the other one? Oh. Just a second, folks. Aiden, can you... I'll be right back is what it says. You had a muffin? Okay, where was I? Okay. After supper, the girls washed the dishes with a lot of laughter and then made their way to the living room. A Christmas tree stood in front of the large bay windows, its colored lights gleaming on the shiny glass ornaments. Come on, let's watch the movie, Jenna suggested, flopping down on the couch. Unless we want to watch it later. Then we won't be sure we can finish it before our parents come home, Stephanie pointed out. Oh, we'll have plenty of time, Angie assured. I doubt they'll be home much before midnight. Did you know Lynn got home yesterday? Jenna sat up a little. No, I haven't seen her. Did she have fun? Where'd she go again? Wondered Stephanie. To visit her grandparents in Idaho. Maybe we should call her, Angie looked at her friends. Want to? Sure. Jumping up from the floor, where she had been sitting, Stephanie grinned. I'll do it. What's the number? Quickly, Angie rattled off the number as Stephanie walked into the kitchen and picked up the phone. After dialing, Stephanie moved back to the doorway and waited. Hello. The voice was low and husky. Hello? Is Lynn there? Oh. Lynn. Stephanie could hear heavy breathing on the other end of the line. Sir, are you all right? At her words, her sister and Angie joined her, and together the three moved into the kitchen. Who is it, Steph? Jenna whispered. Stephanie shrugged. Sir, do you need help? Should we call an ambulance? Pressing the phone close to her ear, she listened hard. Get his address, Angie whispered, sitting down at the table with paper and pencil. Sir, what is your address? There was a pause. Sir, Stephanie spoke slowly and clearly. We need your address, and we'll send an ambulance to help you. It's going to be okay. What? 511 Symphony? Stephanie looked at the others with a puzzled expression. Century? Oh, it's a street? Okay, what is the name of the street? There was another long pause, and Stephanie shook her head helplessly and whispered to the girls, He's having trouble breathing and I can't understand him. Let me try. And Jenna took the phone from her sister. Sir, what street do you live on? You can't breathe very well? It's going to be okay. We're going to send help to you, but what street do you live on? 2nd Street? She spoke the words clearly, and then her face lighted up and she nodded quickly to Angie. Okay, sir, we're going to hang up now and call an ambulance. Wasn't there some special... And then let's see, I'm assuming she's hung up at that point then. Wasn't there some special number they told us about in school? This may sound odd, but I'll tell you something, folks, at the end about this, okay? 9, Angie began, but stopped. I don't remember. Sounds funny now. But I think it was 1-1 at the end, Stephanie said. Try it. We've got to help that man. Quickly, Angie dialed the 3 numbers. I don't know. Hello? Yes, an ambulance is needed at 511 2nd Street. What are you dancing over, Aiden, Alistair? 511 2nd Street. No, we don't live there, but we just talked to an older man, and he's having trouble breathing. He needed us to call for help. There was a short pause. I don't know his name. We were just trying to get the name of the street from him. Uh-huh. Yes? He was having a really hard time breathing. Okay, thanks. Bye. Pressing the button to end the call, Angie smiled. That was the right number. The lady said she'd dispatch an ambulance. Shh. You'll find out later. Amber's wondering. She didn't know the emergency 911. There's a reason. Let's call the man back and tell him they're coming, suggested Stephanie. This was agreed to at once, and Stephanie redialed the numbers she had first called. The man could hardly talk. We called an ambulance, sir, and they're on their way, she assured him. What? No, they're coming to your house. Suddenly she pulled the phone away and hissed, There's another call coming in. Quickly, Angie sprang up and reached for the other phone. Tell him we have to put him on hold, but not to hang up. Stephanie relayed the message, assuring the older man that they weren't going anywhere. Then Angie pushed hold and answered the other call. To their surprise, it was the dispatcher they had just talked to. Do you know the man's name you just called about? The dispatcher asked. I need to try to get a hold of him. I don't know his name, Angie said, but we were just talking to him. We put him on hold when your call came in. All right. I need you to hang up with him so that I can call and talk to him, okay? Angie agreed and quickly gave the dispatcher the man's number. When the phone lines were dead, the 3 girls looked at each other in silence for a few minutes. Now what? Stephanie asked. Jenna shrugged and flipped her brown hair over her shoulder. I don't know, but everything is going to feel strange and kind of a letdown after that. Letting out a sigh, Angie nodded. I know. I just wish we could have kept talking to him until the ambulance got there, put in Stephanie, sitting down at the table. I hope he's going to be okay. Let's pray for him. And Angie reached out a hand to each of the sisters. Though they didn't know the man's name, each girl bowed her head and prayed for the stranger they had accidentally called. When they finished, they continued sitting. The harsh ringing of the telephone startled them all, and everyone sprang to their feet. Angie answered. Where am I? No, she didn't answer that, but Angie answered, and a smile blossomed over her face. Oh, thank you. Yes. Daddy. Yes, we did. What is his name? Pennyworth? Okay, thank you. Hanging up, she looked at her friends. His name is Mr. Pennyworth, and the ambulance got to him in time. Yay! Stephanie gave a little bounce. With a smile, Jenna added, I guess we can relax and watch our movie now. Unless we still wanted to call Lynn. At that, Angie shook her head. Now I'm not sure what her number is. What I thought was her number is Mr. Pennyworth's number. Well, Stephanie said, following the others into the living room, I did call the right number. I hope this man's... Yeah, that's true. I hope the man's family finds out about him. It would be very fun to be alone in the hospital at Christmas time. Let's make him some Christmas cards, Jenna suggested. He might like it, even if he does have family with him. I'll get paper and scissors. Jenna, come get the pens and glue. Steph, clear everything off that coffee table so we'll have plenty of space to work. Angie issued orders rapidly. That's me. Soon the 3 girls with their movie playing in the background were sitting on the floor around the coffee table, hard at work. Mr. Pennyworth lay in his hospital bed and tried to be cheerful. It was hard to do, however, for he was alone and it was Christmas Eve. His wife had passed away several years before, and they hadn't had no children. It's hard being alone without family or friends at my age, the old man mused. But I'm not really alone. The good Lord has not left me. He sent those angels to talk to me on the phone and got me help when I was having that heart attack. I wish I knew who they were so I could thank them. A light knock on the door sounded. Mr. Pennyworth, a nurse said, stepping inside. You have visitors. Oh, hold it. I'll be right back. Gotta sneeze. Whoops. There we go. Okay. Let's see. Quiet, Alistair. Where was a light knock? Oh, yes. Me? Visitors? Well, let them in. He looked eagerly toward the door. 3 girls entered somewhat shyly, followed by a tall man. Mr. Pennyworth, began the girl with long blonde hair, I'm Angie Wilson, and these are my friends, Jenna and Stephanie, and their dad, Mr. Stevens. Merry Christmas, Jenna said, stepping forward. We wanted to come see you, even though we were told you were doing all right. Mr. Pennyworth tipped his head a little. Were you girls the ones who called my house? Yes, sir. Come over here and let an old man thank you. He beckoned them over to his bedside. Don't. Sometimes he bites toes. You gotta watch out for that. That's Alistair, by the way, not the story. Smiling, the girls walked over and hugged him. We made you something, Angie said, offering her card. The nurse said you didn't have any family to visit you. Taking it, Mr. Pennyworth looked at the front. Did you make this? Angie nodded. No one has ever made me a Christmas card before. His hands trembled slightly as he opened it. Dear Mr. Pennyworth, Merry Christmas. Will you please be my grandpa? Love, Angie. Mr. Pennyworth felt his throat tighten, and his vision blurred. The card fell onto the bed as he opened his arms and felt a gentle hug wrap around him. Yes, I would love to, he whispered as he pressed his wrinkled cheek against the long blonde hair of the girl who had helped save his life. Hey. Len is over there all bundled. After a moment, Angie pulled away, her face wreathed in smiles. Mr. Pennyworth brushed his hand over his eyes. We have cards too, Stephanie said, bouncing forward. This is the one I made you. Look, Mommy. Mr. Pennyworth, just wait, Aiden, opened it and read a similar message. Another granddaughter, he chuckled, though there was still a slight catch in his voice. Does that mean I get another hug? Of course, and Stephanie eagerly wrapped her arms around him. Then it was Jenna's turn. As she handed her card to him, she said, You already know what it's going to ask. Do you want one more granddaughter? Absolutely. Why, I never expected to have one granddaughter, and now I have 3. Mr. Pennyworth gave Jenna a tighter squeeze. I thought I was going to be spending this Christmas in heaven, he said as Jenna straightened. Instead, I get to enjoy grandchildren I never thought I'd have. He smiled at each of the girls. Care to add a son to that list, Dad? Mr. Stevens asked. At that, Mr. Pennyworth laughed. Of course. Now wait. I should be getting 2 sons and 2 daughters, right? And 2 dogs and a canary, Stephanie added. Mr. Pennyworth smiled. Tell me, girls, how did you manage to know how to send that ambulance the other night? Angie said, Is it that amusing? Oh, I didn't know he was in frame. Oh, dear. Shh. Yes, that's your head. Let's see. How did you know? Oh, that. Okay. Angie sat down on the edge of the bed and flipped her hair over her shoulder. Well, in school they taught us what to do. It's a new thing. We just had to dial 911 and someone would answer. Then we could tell them the emergency and they'd send help, whatever help was needed. It's easier to remember with only 3 numbers, Jenna said. We were trying to call a friend when I called you, Stephanie added. And then Angie called 911 and no, don't touch. Where was it? Called you. And then Angie called 911 and she shrugged. Mr. Pennyworth never knew family could be so wonderful as he relaxed in his bed and listened to the chatter of the 3 girls who had adopted him. When visiting time was over, he hugged each girl and shook hands with Mr. Stevens. You know, he remarked, reaching out and catching Angie's hand in his own wrinkled one. Christmas is about family. Jesus was born so that we might be adopted into his family. Jesus was born so that we might... I said that. And today you dear people have taken an old man into your family. He brushed away a tear with his gnarled hand. It's going to be a wonderful Christmas. Just hurry up and get well so you can come to our house for Christmas, Daddy. Stephanie blurted out. Yes. That's tomorrow, Jenna reminded her. Daddy. Mr. Pennyworth laughed. I'll get well as quickly as I can, he promised. I don't want to miss any time with my grandchildren, or my sons and daughters. And he smiled at them all. The end. Over too soon. So this is the author's note. A couple years ago, I stumbled across some old TV shows promoting the importance of the then new 911 call system. The stories were all based on real events and people who had used the system to get help. When I watched one of them, I knew it would make a wonderful Christmas story. So, I took the same basic plot and wrote the story you just read. It is based off of a real event and real people. So there you go, in case you were wondering, who wouldn't know 911? Once upon a time, it had to be invented. Well, folks, thank you for joining in. For those of you who are alive, hello. Who else wrote there? Bobby and Judy, hello. Oh, by the way, Judy, I meant to send a message, but thank you very much for the present that was sent. I think Katie sent it too. Well, thank you to you and Katie. That was a very nice one. We just finished putting together the last ones yesterday, actually. I know we were a little late, but we just got behind. But it was really neat opening up each one and building little Legos. We certainly do enjoy Legos, so that was a neat one. Asa wants to show something we were working on yesterday. This was tricky. I think this is from Grandpa. Their Grandpa, but these are a little above the plastic and metal and little screws and nuts, and it required a little help from their daddy. Even from me, it was a challenge, but and Daddy it turned out pretty cool. All of it. Well, not all of it. You did a little. Yeah, I started. You started it, and Daddy finished. And here's Aiden's. It's a little different. These sets are 10 in 1. They have instructions for 3 things, and then you can go on their website and get 7 more. I think it's going to be quite exciting just taking it apart, to be honest. So I don't know about rebuilding into each of the others, but some of them look very cool. So, I mean, these are neat too. It's just some of them look even cooler to me. You could have a Lego race car. Well, you know, Alana, these things were presents to them, but we could do a Lego one. Sometimes we forget, that you like the stuff too. Just because you're a girl doesn't mean you wouldn't like to have stuff like them. Especially since you're in a family of 3 boys. Well, maybe we'd need a few more pieces like Grandpa and Grandma's. But anyway, folks, I'll let you all go. We're going to go have some breakfast now. And there might be one more short story. It's even shorter than this one. Rebekah sent called Cookies. I might do that. Not necessarily Christmas related. So the New Year is coming. I don't know about a New Year's live stream. What the comment there, Judy? Who are you meaning? Is she the oldest? Are you meaning Alana, our little girl, or someone else? Asa is the oldest, 7. Aiden is going to turn 6 in February. Alana turned 4 Christmas Eve. And Alistair is 1.5 years, a little over. But yeah, I don't know if I'll do a live stream like sing time again in the new year. If that were to happen, it might be tomorrow. It's a nice way to start off the new year too. And we'll just do whatever songs, probably. Try to do requests again like usual. But we'll see what is coming here. I suppose we'll have to get things cleaned up with the cross. I don't know if I'd be a sentimental person. I just love this time of year with the coldness and the snow and the weather. I love the lights. I call them winter lights. They're not Christmas lights to me. They're winter lights. Don't go that way, Alistair. And I love having them on as long as I can in winter. So Amber has puts up with them or I appreciate when she puts up with them as long as she can. The cross, we could put that way. I like these light stuff that we have hanging around the house too. But anyway, leave it till Easter. I wouldn't mind. We have snow so long too. It goes with the season. But yeah, they just brighten up the winter. So when the snow melts, we'll put them down. Take the cross down. Well, that could be close to Easter, like Miss Judy said, and then we just leave it up till then. No, we're gonna get leaves growing. Spring is new year, new life. Take care, everyone. I'll try to post if live stream's happening tomorrow or when next. So just keep an eye out for tomorrow morning. Maybe it'd be sometime around 7:38. We'll see. But I'll try to post a comment or a status or something on YouTube, all the platforms that I try to remember. Till then, have a lovely day. May the Lord bless and keep you all. Till next time. Bye-bye.